Blockbuster trade for the Rams, with the Rams shedding defensive salary, sending superstar cornerback Jalen Ramsey. Miami Dolphins, it's where he wanted to go. Miami was always the spot.
We have been preparing and anticipating one major trade on this YouTube channel in particular, and that's Aaron Rodgers potentially being traded from the Green Bay Packers to the New York Jets. The end of that saga should happen within the next week, according to Mark Murphy, the CEO of the Green Bay Packers organization, and we made a whole video on that. He said it point blank. If you missed it, it's a must watch. But you can imagine our surprise when we woke up this morning and found out it was another multi-year all-pro player being traded to another team that is without a doubt a huge Super Bowl contender as a result of this. So before we get to the content, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. Now that we get all that out of the way, work! So I've made almost $5,000 playing this game over the past couple months and posting my picks and selections onto my Instagram story for you guys to follow them. And the game that I'm obviously talking about is Prize Picks. Right now, when you use my promo code Mikerophone, they'll match up to $100 of your initial deposit with another $100. And it's been a lot of fun. I mean, yesterday I had Killian Hayes getting less than 21 points, rebounds, and assists. You went into the third quarter with 18, and he finished the game with 20.5. I can't tell you how euphoric that feeling was when I saw that I was able to make $210 off of a pick that came within 0.5 of not hitting. So if you want to check out Prize Picks, make sure you use my promo code Microphone for a free 100% deposit match up to $100. And follow me on Instagram if you want to follow my picks on Instagram.
With the newest Dolphin, Jalen Ramsey. How you feeling?
I feel great, man. This is something that I was praying about for a long time. Then David made it happen. I'm excited, man. I'm super excited to be close to the fam.
Shout out to David.
Newest Dolphin, baby.
The fam back in Florida. It's gonna be fun.
What are Dolphins fans getting from you?
Man, I'm gonna get a leader, one of the biggest competitors ever. Gonna make my teammates better. All the guys that I got around me, obviously, you know, you got X-Man, and you got Fine, and you got the D-line that you know going crazy with Christian holding that down in the offense. We already know what they talking about. Tyreek, Jalen Tua, man. Come on, man. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. We're gonna get to work, though, for sure.
Already talking about training camp. Tyreek been tweeting about it. What them one-on-ones gonna look like.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I'm glad it happened in practice now, and I ain't gotta guard him in the game no more because he a problem. But he's gonna make me better, and I'm gonna make him better. It's gonna be cool.
Say you can't hit him like you did in the Pro Bowl.
Nah, I ain't never gonna do that again. That's why I had to. You feel me? Maybe I was foreseeing something, and I had to take that opportunity then and there. You know.
Absolutely. Last one for me. I know that you had been on a championship team.
Yeah.
You see the roster they had. They made the moves for Tyreek and
Yeah.
Bradley, and now where are you guys in comparison to competing for that championship?
Man, that's always the goal, is to try to get back to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. So I'm just another piece of the puzzle. I ain't gonna say that I'm gonna bring all that there, but I'm gonna bring that piece of the puzzle there. I got some experience in it, and I'm gonna hopefully help those guys visualize it, and then we gonna go get it. But we gotta put the work in, though.
Congrats, brother.
Appreciate you.
Enjoy it.
Mike check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? It's time that we really appreciate Les Snead and the Los Angeles Rams as a football team, because I don't think we've ever seen a football team constructed in the way the Rams are constructed, and they've been doing this for quite some time. If you go all the way back to the 2012 NFL draft, the Los Angeles Rams held the second overall pick, and they decided to sell away that second overall pick to the then Washington Redskins, who received the number 6 overall pick in that draft and their number 39 pick in the second round, in addition to the Redskins 2013 and 2014 first round picks. If you're a Panthers fan, you might feel slightly better about the trade that you guys recently made, which we also covered recently on Friday when they traded up to the number 1 overall pick with the Chicago Bears. But they decided to be aggressive as well. In 2016, the Los Angeles Rams decided to trade up to the number 1 overall pick after Sam Bradford wasn't able to stay consistently healthy as the Rams quarterback, and after a failed stint with Nick Foles. Yes, he was the Rams quarterback for a period of time. That's how old Nick Foles is. The Los Angeles Rams decided to trade up to the number 1 spot in the 2016 NFL draft, giving up their first round pick in 2016, 2 second round picks in 2016, a third round pick in 2016, a first round pick in 2017, and a third round pick in 2017 to select Jared Goff. Jared Goff looked fairly pedestrian in his first year, and then the Rams decided to fire Jeff Fisher and bring in Sean McVay, and that's when everything changed. All of a sudden, the Los Angeles Rams would become significantly aggressive in their talent acquisition. They wouldn't make trades for just any player. It would either be a player that at some point was perceived to be a very high draft pick that hasn't lived up to his expectations, or a player that was already a very much established that they would pay a handsome amount for. For example, the Rams in the summer of 2018 would go ahead and trade for Brandon Cooks from the New England Patriots. They would acquire Brandon Cooks in a 4th round pick in a trade with the New England Patriots, and they would send a 1st round pick, which was the number 23 pick in the 2018 NFL draft, and a 6th round pick to the Patriots. By the way, do you know who was the number 24 pick in that NFL draft? The very next pick which they traded ended up being DJ Moore, to give you an idea. Not that I'm criticizing them, it's just this is a very unique way to construct a roster. A few months later, they decided to trade a 3rd round pick in 2019 and a 5th round pick in 2020 for Dante Fowler. This move would result in them making a trip to the Super Bowl to face off against the New England Patriots, but obviously it wasn't enough to win that Super Bowl. Well, in the fall of 2019, they decided that, hey, you know what? We have this Aaron Donald guy, and he is considered widely to be the greatest defensive player in the NFL. Why not go and trade for the 2nd best defensive player in the NFL as well? And that's what they did. The Los Angeles Rams traded 2 first round picks in 2020 and 2021 and a 4th round pick in 2021 for Jalen Ramsey, a move that was a shocker, and a lot of people criticized the Jaguars for this move, but to be honest, they got some pretty good compensation out of it, although the compensation didn't really amount to anything, at least not yet. I mean, unless if you think Travis Etienne is a bona fide star, one of those picks became Travis Etienne, so I suppose it's solid. The crown jewel of this era was when the Los Angeles Rams decided to trade Jared Goff, a 3rd round pick, and 2 first round picks for Matthew Stafford. A very bold move, and in the middle of that season, the Los Angeles Rams officially put the cherry on top of going all in when they traded for Von Miller, and these moves resulted in a Super Bowl. And unfortunately, when you go all in and you don't have any assets anymore, and you're not able to retain some of the talent that you did acquire, then at some point it all comes crashing down. And it seems like that's what's happening to the Los Angeles Rams right now. This era in Los Angeles Rams history and in the NFL would live in infamy. Fuck 'em picks is what they would say whenever it would come to Les Snead. And ultimately it resulted in the ultimate prize, winning a Super Bowl. Yeah, they did give up multiple 1st round picks to do it. Yeah, they traded for a quarterback that was injury prone and almost in his mid-30s to do it. Yeah, they extended the same quarterback as well, but they got the ultimate reward for it, the Lombardi Trophy. And now it seems like everything's crashing back down to earth. This past season, they saw Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp get injured. Aaron Donald was shut down due to injury as well. Jalen Ramsey clearly wasn't as motivated out there because he knew there wasn't anything to play for. Hell, the most electric moment for the Los Angeles Rams this season came when they signed Baker Mayfield in the middle of the season, and in 2 to 3 days were able to get Baker Mayfield his first victory. And that's not to say it's a horrible thing. It was expected. It was bound to happen at some point or another, but as a result, it seems like there are going to be some changes that are coming to the Los Angeles Rams. And hell, if you ask Les Snead, he'll tell you it, and so far we've already seen it. A few weeks ago, we saw the Los Angeles Rams completely cut Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner was a fantastic player this season, by the way. He was Pro Football Focus's highest grade linebacker. He was voted an All-Pro again for the 9th straight year, but they mutually agreed to part ways. Why? Because Bobby Wagner wanted to go to a situation where he could potentially win, and the Rams also don't have the cap space to retain him. That's not all they did. They also released Leonard Floyd after looking for a trade partner for Leonard Floyd, and then all of a sudden there were rumors that they were taking calls on on Matthew Stafford. They were taking calls on Cooper Kupp. They were taking calls on Aaron Donald. But rest assured, there was even this one report saying that the Rams have taken calls about 9 players this offseason, according to general manager Les Snead. And he wouldn't say which ones, but did say that Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Aaron Donald are guys that will stay to build around. But he didn't mention one fairly important name, and that's Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey has been in trade rumors all offseason long. Yeah, he did miss a little bit of a step, but one has to wonder, is that due to lack of motivation? Is that due to a situation where he just can't win in currently? Or could it be that father time is catching up with him? He was drafted in the 2016 NFL draft, the same draft as Ezekiel Elliott, the same draft as Carson Wentz, the same draft as Jared Goff. Carson Wentz's career is definitely trending downward. Ezekiel Elliott might get cut by the Dallas Cowboys, so it's only natural it might be father time's catching up with Jalen Ramsey. Or it could be a case of not being as motivated as much to compete. Well, it seems like there's a brand new team that is going to have the ability to figure that out, because the Los Angeles Rams are officially out of the Jalen Ramsey business. First reported by Ian Rappaport, the Los Angeles Rams are finalizing a trade to send superstar cornerback Jalen Ramsey to the Miami Dolphins. At the time he reported, it wasn't done yet, but it was headed in that direction. Well, it's official, ladies and gentlemen, because the Los Angeles Rams have officially traded cornerback Jalen Ramsey to the Miami Dolphins, and this gets him a much more lucrative contract. The 2023 and 2024 year of his contract is now fully guaranteed, something that the Los Angeles Rams just didn't have the facilities to do. They don't have the cap space to pull this off. So they didn't just trade Jalen Ramsey. I want to be abundantly clear. They donated Jalen Ramsey, because when you see the return that they got for Jalen Ramsey, as a Rams fan, you're going to be sick. But don't worry, I'm here to explain to you why they decided to do this. Jalen Ramsey is to get an adjusted contract. He has 2 years fully guaranteed left to complete a deal that averages $20 million per year. He also gets an additional $25 million guaranteed as part of the trade, and he gets his preferred destination, the Miami Dolphins. So he wanted to go to the Miami Dolphins, probably because him and Tyreek Hill are going to have some pretty insane and electrifying practices. But Adam Schefter gives us the full breakdown as to what the final deal is. A trade is now agreed upon. The Dolphins get Jalen Ramsey, and the Rams get a 3rd round pick and Hunter Long? Here's the thing, like, if you're the Rams in this particular situation, dude, you guys don't have a 1st round pick in the 2023 NFL draft. As a matter of fact, you guys have a 2nd round pick, and now it looks like you have 2 3rd round picks, you have 3 5th round picks, and you have 3 6th round picks, and you have 3 7th round picks. It would have been nice to try to get an additional 2nd round pick, because it seems like the Rams are headed towards a retooling or a rebuilding of their roster, but they don't have weapons to add talent onto their roster. So you might be wondering, why the hell did the Los Angeles Rams do this trade? We're going to get to that. First, we got to praise the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are essentially doing now what the Los Angeles Chargers did last year around Justin Herbert. You might be wondering, why am I using the Chargers and Justin Herbert as an example, as opposed to, I don't know, the Philadelphia Eagles, who had the most success doing this exact same method? Well, the Miami Dolphins, Philadelphia Eagles, and Los Angeles Chargers were all in the same situation last year. They all had quarterbacks on rookie scale contracts. They all wanted to go all in on building very deep teams around these quarterbacks with rookie scale contracts, and the most successful one was clearly the Philadelphia Eagles. It may have been the Miami Dolphins if Tua was able to stay healthy last year. The reason I'm comparing this to Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers is last year, the Chicago Bears traded an all-pro edge rusher in Khalil Mack to the Los Angeles Chargers and didn't really get much compensation in return. The Bears received a 2022 2nd round pick and a 2023 6th round pick in return for Khalil Mack, who was a fantastic player even though his numbers didn't necessarily show it. So why did they do that? Well, who has the most cap space in the NFL offseason this year? So far, it's the Chicago Bears. They had a horrible year last year. I mean, they have the number 1 pick. Well, they had the number 1 pick in the NFL draft for a reason. But the reason why they essentially donated elevated Khalil Mack and got a much lesser return for him was just simply so they could clear cap space for this upcoming year. And it worked. They have the most cap space out of every NFL team currently this year. And that's what the Los Angeles Rams are trying to do here. They're just trying to shed as much salary as humanly possible for next offseason. This year is going to be a down year for them. Did they get a lesser return on Jalen Ramsey? Yeah, possibly. Would it have been better to trade Jalen Ramsey last year? Most definitely. But last year they were also running high off of their Super Bowl victory. There was this chance of Aaron Donald and Sean McVay retiring. Sean McVay had to yell at Aaron Donald saying, "Run it back one more year," at their Super Bowl parade. So it makes a lot of sense how this resulted in being the way that the Los Angeles Rams went about things. You're not going to tell Aaron Donald to come back for one more year and say, "Oh yeah, by the way, we also traded Jalen Ramsey." Future of the Rams is very simple at this point. They're going to have a bottom year. Les Snead's going to try to retool the roster. You're entering a brand new era of Los Angeles Rams football. Sean McVay claims to be locked in for this upcoming season and for future NFL season. But what about the Miami Dolphins? Well, for the Miami Dolphins, man, this is going to be exciting. You have Xavier Howard at the cornerback position. On the other side, you have Jalen Ramsey. You have Bradley Chubb rushing the quarterback, and then you also have Javon Holland, Christian Wilkins, and Jalen Phillips, all being coached by Vic Fangio, with a fantastic offensive attack, assuming that Tua could stay healthy. This team is terrifying, and I'm sure you're going to get some elevated play from Jalen Ramsey as a result of this. So for the Miami Dolphins, this is without a doubt an A++. For the Los Angeles Rams, it's really difficult to grade a move like this. You're giving up on a very good player. You don't want to be a mediocre team in 2 years from now. You understand the situation you're in. You're understanding that you have to pay back for all the salary cap casualties you took in. You won a Super Bowl. It's time to try to rebuild this roster as efficiently as possible. I'm not going to give them a D, but I will give them a C because it's very hard to give them a high grade on a trade like this. But at least they're very honest about the situation they're in. They understand that they have to go into a rebuild and they have to shed some salary, and this is the way that they're going to do it. Let me know in the comment section down below how you guys feel about this trade. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.